1,000 people murdered. So I was going to do what I could, but it had to be done in a very careful, thoughtful way. So we studied the intelligence. We worked on this for hours. And then at the end, the president went around and asked everybody for their opinion. It was a very experienced group of people, but we didn't all agree. Some said, well, I just don't think the intelligence is strong enough. We shouldn't do it. Others said, look, I think it's strong enough, but I don't want to risk our special forces going into Pakistani territory, so let's just use a missile. And others said, it's strong enough, and we've got to send in special forces because otherwise we will never know if we got him. And I was in that last category, and we all gave our opinions. There's 2 points I want to make to you. The president, at the end of listening, said he was going to retire and ponder carefully what he should do. Because you can have all the experts, you can have all the good advisors, but at the end of the day, these hard choices have to be made by the president. And the president made the decision, and the raid was carried out. And during that raid, some of you may have seen the movie or read about it, one of the helicopters clipped its tail going in to land in the courtyard of the compound, which meant it was disabled. Which meant that after the SEAL team got into the compound, fought with the bodyguards of bin Laden, one of his adult sons, and then bin Laden himself, they had to blow up that helicopter before they could leave. And here's what I want you to know. They stopped and took precious seconds to take all the women and children out of that compound so that when they blew that copter, they would not be putting those lives at risk. Now, those were, let's face it, those were wives of terrorists. Those were children of terrorists, including bin Laden's. But that, my friends, is what American honor looks like. And the third big test is whether you can unify our country. And everything we've been hearing from Donald Trump tries to divide us. Day after day, attacks on people, starting by attacking immigrants from Mexico, attacking women, attacking Muslims, attacking people with disabilities, attacking John McCain. It's really troubling to see someone seeking the most important job probably in the world who talks about people like that. Now, just recently, we've seen another example. This so-called Trump University. It wasn't really a school. It wasn't accredited. It was a scam. It was a scam. And it took advantage of vulnerable people, encouraging them to max out their credit cards, empty their retirement savings, destroy their financial futures. The victims and the Attorney General of New York are suing Trump for fraud. And Donald's own employees are testifying that it was a fraud. Now, how does Trump respond? He's trying to distract people by making a prejudiced, bigoted attack on the federal judge who's hearing the case here in California. He has said that this judge should be disqualified because, in Trump's words, he has Mexican heritage. Now, this is not just another outlandish, insulting comment from Donald Trump, and it is not normal politics. This is something much, much more dangerous. Now, let me tell you about this judge. His name is Judge Curiel. His parents immigrated to the United States. They settled in Indiana. That's where their 4 children, including the judge, were born. And the last time I checked, Indiana was part of the United States of America. Their youngest son went to law school, became a prosecutor, and went after the toughest criminals. For 1 year when he was a prosecutor, he lived in hiding because of threats from drug cartels against him. Then he was appointed to the state court here in California by former Republican Governor Schwarzenegger. And then he was appointed to the federal court by President Obama. This, my friends, is the story of America. This is an inspiring story of someone who worked for everything he had. It's a story that makes me proud. Judge Curiel is as much of an American as I am, and he's as much of an American as Donald Trump is. But he has Mexican roots. So to Donald Trump, that means he can't do his job. Well, Donald Trump's not just wrong about Judge Curiel, he's wrong about America. He's wrong about what makes this country great. And on a day that we are mourning Muhammad Ali, it's worth remembering that we live in a country where people can break down barriers, where they can worship their own God, where they can choose their own name, and where they can lead and follow their dreams as far as their hard work and talent will take them. I've always believed that in America, it doesn't matter where your parents were born or what color your skin is. We're judged by our words and our deeds, not our race, not our ethnicity, not our religion. So it is time to judge Donald Trump by his words and deeds. And I believe that his words and his deeds disqualify him from being President of the United States. Now, I also believe that we have to stand up for what makes our country great, because we are great. I am tired of Donald Trump tearing our country down, insulting our country. But that doesn't mean we rest on our laurels. We have work to do. It means young people have to pursue their education and work as hard as they can to go as far as they possibly can reach. It means we all have to do our part to stand up for our rights. And that's exactly what I will do. I will defend a woman's right to choose, and I will defend Planned Parenthood. I will defend marriage equality and work to end discrimination against the LGBT community. I will defend voting rights and work to appoint Supreme Court justices who reverse Citizens United and get the money out of politics. I will defend workers' rights and the right to organize and bargain collectively. I will introduce legislation within the first 100 days, if I'm fortunate enough to be president, to achieve comprehensive immigration reform with a path to citizenship. And I will continue to stand up against the gun lobby for common sense gun safety reforms. That's why I'm telling you what I want to do, because I want you to know. I'm not going to just give you slogans and rhetoric. I want you to know what I will try to do if I'm your president, and I want you to hold me accountable. Because I want to rebuild that sense of respect in our country. A democracy runs on respect. And I don't think I have all the answers either. You know, one of my favorite Trump quotes is he said he thinks he knows more about foreign policy and national security than all the generals. He's asked who he listens to. He says he talks to himself because he has a very good brain. One of my personal favorites is he says he knows how to deal with Putin because he took the Miss Universe pageant to Moscow. Look, I don't think I have all the answers. If you're looking for somebody who believes he has all the answers, I'm not your candidate. I can promise you hard work, and I can promise you I will listen and learn from people in our country. And I can promise you I will go anywhere at any time to meet with anyone to try to find common ground. Because that's what we've got to get back to doing. Our country was set up so that people have to work together. And that's what I believe in. I have seen it. I have seen my husband. I have seen Barack Obama. I know how hard they have worked. It's not an easy job. It's a job that requires 24/7, but it's a job that requires somebody who not only will seek common ground, but also stand our ground about what is important to America and our place in the world. So here's what I want you to know. I will not forget this community. I will know every day that the people here deserve a president who gets up every morning trying to figure out how do we make life better for the hard-working folks in Oxnard, California. But I can't do any of that without your help. If you all have a ballot at home you haven't filled out, please fill it out. Send it in. I would be honored to have your support. And if you don't, come out and vote on June 7th. Come out and cast a vote for your future. My name may be on the ballot, but I have worked hard to make a difference in people's lives for a long time. And if you will come out and vote for me, I will stand up and fight for you and work for you through this campaign and into the White House.